Hey, welcome to my list of personal top 10 Pokemon of all time. Now, at first, I didn't know if I was going to order these. I've been in love with Pokemon for a literal 18 years of my life. I'm 23, by the way. So, most of my life has been around these little pocket monsters. So, with that in mind, of course my favourite Pokemon has changed many times over these years. However, I'm going to base the list off of how I feel about the Pokemon at this current time. The list will go from least favourite to my all-time favourite. So, without further ado, let's get started with my top 10 Pokemon of all time. Number 10, Raiku. Look at this beast. A literal beast. If at least one of the legendary beasts isn't on one of your lists, I'm afraid we have a problem. I played the second gen games very late into my life, in the grand scheme of things. I was first introduced to the games through Pokemon Emerald, so I didn't really have much exposure to many second gen Pokemon. However, I remember watching the third Pokemon movie. That film obviously featured Entei as one of the main characters of the story, Entei being one of the 3 legendary beasts. This sparked my interest. This was at a time when the Pokemon TCG was picking up a lot of attention, and what do you know, I received one of the legendary beasts themselves, Raiku. It was my favourite Pokemon card ever. I cannot believe I lost my whole collection of cards from back when I was younger. I miss having them all, but not having that Raiku card hurts the most. By far one of the coolest and overall best electric type Pokemon to ever exist. Number 9, Electavire. Now this is what you call a boss Pokemon. Not only does it evolve from one of my previous favourite Pokemon throughout the years, it manages to look even cooler. I've seen a lot of people in the Anime-Poke community stan Paul. Now, Paul seems like a pretty good rival. A bit like Gary, but maybe a few more layers to him as a character in comparison to Gary. Nevertheless, people love Paul, and I have a feeling his Electavire may play into that a little bit. It's just an awesome Pokemon. Maybe my electric type bias may be to blame for this, but I genuinely love this Pokemon. Just wish it had a dual typing. Electric fighting would make this thing a much bigger threat. Number 8, Darkrai. I'm pretty sure it was an event Pokemon, so it was very hard to get your hands on one. However, of course I got my hands on one somehow. I hacked it. Well, actually, one of my cousins hacked it and traded it to me. Hey, shut up, I didn't know. Anyways, the fact that I had it on my DS was amazing. Yes, it was a hacked Pokemon, but wow, I couldn't have been happier at that point to finally have a Darkrai on my game cartridge. I love Darkrai. Number 7, Crocodile. Now, this Pokemon is a complete and utter badass. I've seen many people praising this cool guy all over Anime-Poke Twitter. Crocodile is one of the very few reasons why I want to watch Black and White series. Also, can we talk about the shiny? I don't know about you guys, but Crocodile's shiny is so clean. I also really like its typing. The dark typing overall is definitely one of my favourites. Partnered with the bulky, powerful ground type, and you've got yourself an absolute monster. Every time I play through Gen 5, I always use a Crocodile. One of my favourites, and I love it so much. Number 6, Swampert. Like I said earlier, Pokemon Emerald was my first ever Pokemon game. I absolutely loved this game and I would bring it with me wherever I went. When it came to choosing my starter Pokemon, there was only one clear choice for me. Trico. Yeah. Mudkip wasn't my first ever Pokemon. However, a few years after not playing Pokemon Emerald, I picked the game back up. This time around, I chose Mudkip. And the rest, as they say, is history. With this Mudkip, I eventually trained it up, and we travelled all over the Hoenn region. We collected 8 badges, we took on the Pokemon League. It came down to taking on the champion himself, Wallace. After we defeated Wallace, I trained up Swampert to level 100. This was my second ever level 100 Pokemon. Swampert will always have a special place in my heart, so that's why he's at number 6 on my list. Number 5, Crobat. Now, if you follow me over on Twitter, shameless plug, you know the praise that I give this Pokemon. You see, many people see Crobat as unobtainable to them because of 2 main factors. One of them being they think Zubat is annoying and unusable. I mean, yes, running into Zubat countless times whilst you're trying to make your way through a cave or a route can be annoying. However, I don't think Zubat is unusable. Sure, it's not the best Pokemon in the world, but once it evolves, it's only up from there in terms of strength and speed. The second reason why people don't give Crobat a chance is because the way in which you evolve Golbat into Crobat. Friendship. Yes, friendship can be very tedious, especially in the older games, but trust me, if you can get through the drag of boosting your bond between you and your Golbat, you will be rewarded with an absolute gem of a Pokemon. I love Crobat, and I really do believe it deserves a lot more respect in the Pokemon community. Also, the design is perfect. Simple, but effective. Number 4, Zorua. Oh, he's so cute, he's such a cute... Sorry, I don't know what came over me. Zorua. I'm so sorry I didn't realise you were a thing until very late. Now, with Zorua comes a lot of love for N as well. I don't really want to get too much into N as a character and what I think of him because I'm planning on making a video around different characters from the games and anime. But just know, N is a key reason I fell in love with Zorua. Zorua is to this day one of the cutest Pokemon I've ever laid eyes on. I love its design so much. Another dark type on the list, yes, I know. But just look at it. So adorable. Now, when it comes to Zoroark, I like it. But I just have too much love for Zorua. One of, if not my favourite Pokemon from Gen 5. Number 3, Greninja. Normie. Hey, let me speak, damn. Anyways, my first ever playthrough of X and Y was with Froakie. Obviously. It's not even close, come on. These three, and you're not picking the Frog Boy? Come on. Greninja instantly became a fan favourite when it was revealed. So much so that it even got a special type of evolution in the Pokemon anime. I'm obviously referring to the Ash Greninja form from the Pokemon XYZ series. People that weren't even interested in Pokemon found themselves seeing articles on what it means for Pokemon as a whole. It became an instant talking point amongst Pokemon fans. Greninja's normal form is incredible. A frog ninja. Come on. How can you not love this thing? Greninja also gets the ability Protean. Protean, I don't know. Which changes its typing based on the typing of the move it uses. Do you know how broken that could be? Anyways, I'm getting carried away with this Pokemon. It's 100% the best Gen 6 final evolution, and it goes without saying that most people would agree with that statement. Greninja is one of the GOATs. Now, before we get into the top 2, I thought I should give some honourable mentions of mine. First honourable mention goes to Gliscor. I love its design and its typing is so good. Flying Ground is such a useful type combination, just stay away from snowball fights. And overall, it's a great Pokemon. I loved it in the anime and enjoyed using it a lot in my playthrough of Gen 4. Second honourable mention goes to Dragapult. This is my second favourite Gen 8 Pokemon. It was the first ever Pokemon I ever shiny hunted for, and I managed to get it within just over 400 egg catches. For this reason, I had to give it an honourable mention. Third and last honourable mention goes to Raboot. What? Your mascot isn't even on the list. Yeah, I know, but if you look back on the whole list, there isn't a single Gen 8 Pokemon, bar Dragapult as an honourable mention. For me, Sword and Shield are still very fresh. Raboot only became one of my favourite Pokemon recently, and that was thanks to Pokemon Journeys. Pokemon Journeys, I've only just started, really. I need to build up more love for this Pokemon. However, it is so close to being on this list. Now, let's get into the top 2. You ready? You better be. Number 2, Gyarados. Gyarados is by far the best Pokemon you can obtain on nearly any playthrough of any Pokemon game. It's quite simply too strong. I've seen a lot of Nuzlockers on YouTube and Twitch banning Gyarados from their runs because it's basically a cheat code. It's an absolute monster. Now, trying to evolve Magikarp into a Gyarados can be quite a challenge, but just slap an experience share on it, and you'll be smooth sailing to that sweet, sweet Gyarados power. I think the first Pokemon movie really cemented my love for Gyarados. I remember seeing that one trainer in the film riding on the back of one, and it just looks so cool. The fact that its design is freaking amazing as well has probably helped my love for this Pokemon too. Gyarados is an amazing Pokemon, and that is why it is number 2 on my list. Here we go. time for you guys to find out who is my favourite Pokemon of all time. My favourite Pokemon of all time is Dunsparce. Dunsparce is the most incredible Pokemon ever. From design to absolute raw power. My favourite Pokemon ever. Okay, I'll stop now. Number 1, Gengar. I genuinely really don't know how to explain this one. Gengar is just the best. It just delivers everything I want from a Pokemon. Not too complex in its design, yet it still looks cool. Has great stats in game, amazing lore and great backstory in Pokemon journeys. I could try and go on and on about Gengar, but I'm sure I'd eventually bore you to death. I distinctly remember discovering that you could trade a Medicham for a Haunter with a girl at Snowpoint City in Pokemon Platinum. Still haven't forgiven her for that. As you probably know, the trade involves an Everstone. This obviously prevents the Haunter from evolving into Gengar when traded, seeing as the only way to obtain Gengar is through a trade. This was upsetting. Who at Game Freak was this sadistic to add this in? Anyways, I'm getting carried away here. The focus is Gengar. For me, Gengar has been one of those Pokemon that has never really gone old. Like I said, it's such a simple design, but for some reason it just looks cool. The original Ghost type Pokemon will always be very high on any Pokemon list I do. If Pokemon were real, Gengar would be my partner Pokemon, for sure. Gengar, you're number 1 on my list. Well, that's all people. I want to thank you all so much for the support recently. We are very close to 50 subscribers, and we're also so close to 1,000 followers over on Twitter. So if you haven't already, be sure to follow me over there. Also, be sure to leave a like, comment what you thought about my list, and maybe even subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all so much again, and I'll catch you next time. See ya!